to.
Hi, everybody. This is Rhonda and
Deborah.
once again, we are with Euphoria Science, and we are just here to answer again some questions that we tend to get all the time. So we figured we'd do some videos and just shortly answer these questions in a quick way so that you guys can understand it a little bit better.
Yeah, and if you watch one after another, you'll have every bit of knowledge you ever need to know.
Exactly. And as a side note on that, we do not need to know all this knowledge. Like, all this is given to us by the company. So we're actually just reading like questions that they've put together or things that are right on our website or other information that they've given us. We have a whole resource center. So just so you know, like, you don't have to know all these things. We're actually just like,
thank God.
I know.
I mean, DNA is a complete science, and we are not scientists.
Definitely not. So all these answers come from our scientists, our scientific board, the doctors and stuff that work with the company. So we're just reading to you what they have sent to us. So,
and putting it into easy layman terms like that we can explain.
Exactly. So on that note, today, one of the questions that I actually just got this question like this week is, will my genes ever change? So since we're giving you nutrition that helps with some of the weaknesses in your genes, people are like, well, are my genes going to change then? What can I stop taking it? Or, that's a question I get a lot, right? Do you get the same question?
Yeah. How long do I need to take it?
Right. So here's the short answer. And I'm literally just reading it from this book, just so you guys know. It's no. Your genes and variants that are found in your genetics and your DNA will never change. These are variants that you inherited from your parents, and they are found in virtually every strand of DNA in your body. You also have the potential to pass these variants in your genes to your offspring, which is very interesting. And there's another video on epigenetics that we can probably do on that at another time. Yes. But anyways, if you have a green result for a gene, neither of your parents have that variant, nor can you pass along a variant in that gene. If you have a red result, that means you inherited a variant from both parents and can pass along a variant in that gene to your offspring. Finally, if your result is a yellow, that means you inherited a variant from one parent, and you can pass on the variant or you can pass on a good gene. So those are the three things you can have, but your genes themselves, your DNA, will never change what you have.
Right. And the red, yellow, green she's talking about comes with your report, so you know.
Yes. And everybody gets that 35 to 37 page report, and we'll give you your results, whether it's green, yellow, or red, for every single gene. So your genes can never change. So on that note, the question is, because Euphoria does plan on adding more genes in the future, the question is also, well, will I have to have my DNA tested again, like to see if I still need these nutrients, or am I going to need other nutrients in the future? And what's the short answer to that, Deborah?
No. Short answer, no. Once we have your test results for your DNA, we have your test results for your DNA. And those are barcoded and put away. Your sample is destroyed as soon as we have the barcode and your information filed. But if we do add different genes to that, we'll already have the information that we need. And because your genes never change, one time is all you need to do.
Exactly.
So, and I think that's exciting that you don't have to retest anything like that. Now, the other thing that I get asked a lot is, but I had blood work done, and it said I didn't need this or I didn't need that, so I'm good. Well, why? The question always becomes, what's the difference in a blood test and a DNA test? You want to tell?
Exactly. And actually, Dr. Jen Dr. Jen Myers, who is one of our geneticists on our scientific board, actually did a great video on that. So if you really want the in-depth, like scientific answer, just, message one of us, whoever you're watching this, and we can send you that little video clip that she did on it. But the short answer is, so your DNA is your genetic code. That's what you're born with. That's what your variants are. With the actionable genes that we're providing you your personal nutrition for, you can strengthen those genes or change the gene expression for that, so that you may never have the problem that could occur if you weren't giving your body the right nutrients. Now, a blood test is like a snapshot of what's going in your body that specific day.
Same thing with the hair, right? I think, or is the hair more like DNA?
I think the hair is more like the DNA.
I don't get asked about that, so I just thought about that. I don't know the answer to that.
But the blood work is going to give you a snapshot of what your body's at for that day. What do you have in your body? How's your cholesterol? How's your blood pressure? Certain levels can be tested.
If it was like a DNA test, you wouldn't have to go every 6 months and get lab work done, or once a year to have your blood work done to see how you're doing, because that just changes constantly.
Exactly. So a good measure that a lot of people do is say, like, I go for my annual exam. So last year, or 2 years ago actually now, so I went for my annual exam and I had my whole printout. Well, shortly after I went to that, it was probably maybe 4 months later is when I started taking my personalized nutrition. So then when I went for my annual exam the following year, I got my new blood work. And that was very interesting because there I could compare my blood work from the 2 different years. So I had been taking my nutrition for about 8 months or so, and see the changes in my body from the nutrition, from 1 year to the next. So even though your DNA is not changing, it's changing your gene expression, or what your body is doing with that nutrition now that it's getting, because that's exactly what it needs. And it was so interesting to compare my blood work. So you can use blood work to compare or see how your body is doing from 1 month to 6 months later to a year later, with different things that we test for. But your genes will be the same. So you do need to keep giving those genes the nutrients they need to act in a healthier way, I guess is what I would say.
The way I explain it to people is, you think about a dam, and let's say there's 18 possible holes in the dam. That's your foundation of your health. Now, if you get a red on your report, that's a big hole. That's a lot of water coming through the dam. If you have a yellow, you got a flow, but it's just a steady stream. And then if you have green, no, the hole's not even there really. So you take the dam, and what we do is supply the proper nutrition to fill in all of those holes, to give you a solid foundation for your health. I mean, I think
that's a smart analogy. You're smart sometimes.
Thank you. But I mean, that's a visual that people, I think, can understand. And the cool thing about this is, if you're taking other products or whatever, a lot of them you probably won't need to take once you get your DNA report. But let's say there's something you specifically really like taking or whatever, you're just building on a solid foundation now, so that it enhances anything. It's like icing on the cake from there. Because if your genes aren't working, if you're not processing, let's say CoQ10 or something, and I don't have the science in front of me, so I can't state it scientifically, but there are certain genes that don't process particular products well. And if you have that strong foundation now, those products are going to work even better. So it's like, once you have that strong foundation, you're much better off. And like, I found out I was susceptible to autoimmune deficiencies that I would have never known. So getting the proper nutrition for me is huge, because I don't want to get rheumatoid arthritis or any of these other Alzheimer's. I'm susceptible to all that. It doesn't mean you're going to get it, but I'd rather not mess with it and know that I've propped up, filled that hole in the dam.
Right.
Put it that way.
Knowledge is power.
Yeah, exactly.
You have the knowledge, and you know exactly what your body could possibly get in the future. You can take action now, and and possibly prevent that. Or if you're already having problems and you start giving your body these clinical doses, to you can see changes also there, which is
important. I mean, this is not, there's no guesswork in this. It's clinical doses based on a lot of research that's gone into this through nutrigenomics and nutrigenetics over the years, and it's solid research.
Yeah. So all in all, no, your genes will never change, but you can change what you do about those genes.
Oh, there you go. Your genes will never change, but you can alter them in a weird way.
You can change their gene expression,
how they show up. Exactly. Well,
so hopefully this information helped you guys. And we'll be doing other short video clips on different questions that we usually get. So hope you guys have a great day. Thanks.
Bye.